Hello world and all of my friends and subscribers out there in YouTube, and I would like to welcome you to my next not so Halloween series since I'm late with it, but my Beating You Jeepers Creepers sculpting series, and this is part one, and today we'll be sculpting the head and the body, hands and feet. So let's get started. So the first thing I did, of course, was make a scale sketch for him and just map him out so that I could just adjust the sculpture and make sure I was getting the right proportions, and then started on the head shape. Just a basic shape for now, because later I need to make his teeth and eyes, so I'll just make the basic shape first. Basic skull shape. And then I started making the kind of teeth and gums. I had already made the eyes just by rolling a ball of off-white clay and cutting it in half and baking it. So I'm just making the kind of shape of a mouth and cutting all the little teeth off. I did try and bake the teeth first, but that just didn't work out so well. As you can see, they're all just lying discarded there. And I'm hoping that I'm getting the right shape, that it'll fit inside his mouth. Okay, so I'm just kind of measuring out to make sure I have the width of the head right, and then positioning the eyes. And then making the space for me to put his mouth in. And then I'm just going to start refining his face, adding his lips and his eyelids and all his wrinkles and his weird flaps on the side of his face. He was a really fun face to sculpt. He was really interesting. Lots of details. I really enjoyed it. Then I just sculpted his ears, added those. I'll just show you quickly the armature I made, and that's out of wire, tin foil, and then it's covered with tape so the clay will adhere a bit better to it. And then I just covered his armature in clay, just doing a general male body shape, just because I am going to be covering him in his clothing, so I don't really need to go into too much detail with his body, arms and legs. It's just his hands really, because I'm going to be giving him leather boots. So I'll just do my favorite bit and sculpt the hands. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed his kind of claw kind of stance of his hands. They were really interesting. So I just did the basic shape and then refined it so that it was in that position of the claw. Then I baked those with toothpicks in them so they had a hole, and then once they were baked I added them to the armature with liquid clay and started sculpting the forearms. So I just sculpted the forearm with the hand attached, and then the upper arm separate from the body and the lower arm, just so that I could bend and position his arms like that. And I did the same for the other arm, and I also did the same for the legs. Apparently I was out of frame the entire time I was sculpting the kind of boot shape. It was just a simple boot shape for each foot, nothing fancy, just something that when I make the boots they'll just have the right shape. And then I stuck them on the same way as the arms. And here he is at the end, and I ran out of the grey coloured clay, so I had to just put some regular Super Sculpey on quickly, just because you weren't really going to see it, so it didn't really matter. So thank you so much for watching, and keep an eye out for part 2, because we'll be painting his face and giving him some clothes to wear, and hopefully he looks super evil and awesome like he does in the movies. So I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye.